So we're working with the blue energies, which are the adrenals, the kidneys, the bladder, the urethra, the vagina, and the penis. And it's a very particular circuit, and a very particular energy. And interestingly, the adrenals relate a lot to cops and robbers, that adrenaline energy of cops and robbers. And that flashing blue light that seems to be standard around the whole world, that is kind of the colour and quality of the adrenals. Kind of gives a feeling of fear, and so do the police. And interestingly, I was going for my walk today and I was coming back, oh, there's a helicopter. And it was just circling around and around where I was going towards. I go through across the fields and everything and come back, and they go to this little housing estate, and there's an alleyway you have to come through. And anyway, I got to my alleyway and there was a group of people standing around saying, oh, there's lots of police down there. So I'm going through my alleyway anyway, and I got to the end of it, and they've all got submachine guns, you know. Submachine guns look really scary close up. They look like they're made, I think they are made of plastic. They don't look heavy. They almost look like toys. It's very interesting how they look so much like toys, but I think they're very lightweight. I think they're kind of hard plastic. Maybe the barrel is metal or something. And they've surrounded this house on all sides, and I'm kind of walking, rather than blocking the the alleyway off, I'm walking right through in the line of fire from this sting operation they're doing on this house, and they've got police cars everywhere and these flashing blue lights, and then in front of the house as well. And that's very much to do with the adrenals. That's representative of the adrenals. And I wasn't going to do much on the adrenals today, but I can't help but include that now in the energies. I think it is part of today. It's certainly part of my day. Not every day you meet machine guns and special armed police and stuff. So anyway, that's there. And what I wasn't sure how to do it, but I'm going to do it in this webinar. I wanted to work more with the hands and feet. I will be running a whole webinar series on it, but we'll be working with the hands and feet as we did in the last webinar, but a little bit more depth. Because I think I want to include that with most of the work we're doing. And I think it is truly valuable for physical integrity. And I think as I get older, all the people who come along to my classes get older, and so I'm 65, and a lot of people start getting faced with hip operations and things like that. And I think if you work with the hands and feet as I'm going to describe, it will always keep the hip joints mobile, and the pelvis mobile, and the sacrum mobile, and the pelvic floor mobile, in the same way this gentle motion of the jaw is continually massaging the TMJs, this joint here, and you've continually got this breathing motion through the face and cranium, keeping all these sutures healthy and mobile, and keeping the cranial motion breathing and the brain breathing. When we're working from the feet, it's coming up from the other end, so it's addressing the ankles, the knees, the hips, and then the lower spine, and working up through the body. And it's connecting with the same motion through the body that's initiated through the movement of the jaw. They align and work together. But from the mouth, it's very much connecting. You know, the face is a particular wavelength or energy or octave or hologram of all the different energies here at a particular level. Then you move up a level and you've got the cranium and brain, and then you move up a level and you through the crown chakra and meeting with your higher self. And then, you know, you've got the neck as a hologram, the torso. And the feet are obviously connected to the earth, and they do have all of the energies that we work with in holographic breathing, the deep earth energies, the fire energies, the blue energies as we're working with today, the yellow energies, the lung circuit, the brain energies and high energies. They're all there in the feet, but at a particular octave or a particular level, which is quite grounded and is a lot to do with the deep earth energies, which is connects us to the earth, works through the bones, works through the ligaments, works through the muscles, works with physical integrity. It will keep you mobile, it will keep the joints open, it will release tense muscles, chronically tense pains in the body. It will continually release the diaphragms, like as the hands and feet breathe. This is like a diaphragm. They're breathing in the same way as diaphragms do. And it relates through the brain, through the tentorium in the brain, through the brain. And so it works through the whole body, through the spine, and finally gets to the brain, the cranium and the face, and the physical motion of the brain cells, like the brain cells aren't stuck together like the cells in the body. I don't know why I always have to turn it this way up. They're like sea anemones in a sea of cranial sea, which is carrying all their nutriments and oxygen and also acting as their ventilation and eliminating toxins. And so they easily can move, and the internal muscles within the cells align with this movement coming up through the feet, and then so you get this internal breathing motion of the brain aligning with the external, because the cranium and face are being breathed by the muscles of holographic breathing, aligning with the movement of the cranium exerted from the outside with the movement of the brain exerted from within every cell of the brain. So it wakes up the brain at a very particular level and gives you brain gym. I think because I'm 65 now, before that age I was kind of okay, but now I keep on thinking, well, a couple of years ago, that's when you get deemed as an old age pension. I have quite a lot of trouble putting myself in that framework, but it's there. It's there in the background. I'm an old age pensioner without even a pension. They've taken our pension away. But not everybody here, but a lot of people here, kind of 50s and 60s and 70s, there may even be some 80s here. Yes, I think there are some 80s here. Maybe not, I'm not sure. But anyway, this will keep us mobile. We can all be in a home together, doing holographic breathing, eating nice food, staying alive forever. We will be the forever people. Anyway, So it gives you that very grounded physical integrity, and it works through the diaphragms. You know, I had a hiatus hernia from a very young age, and a tight muscle from the spine, kind of directly back from the sternum around under the shoulder blade and into the centre. And it was because, you know, there's the diaphragm's torn a bit, or it's given around the where the esophagus comes through, and it goes into spasm. Then the muscles go into spasm, and then, but working with the hands and feet in this way, it really gets its long, deep breath. It feels hydraulic breath happening. It really gets the diaphragms continually working, and that I don't know if that hernia went. I mean, it's different. I've got two hernias now. I've got one at the bottom and one at the top. Maybe it needed company, I don't know, something like that is going on. But anyway, that whole pain has completely gone, and the diaphragm's a lot more free. And where this started, when I started doing this kind of permanently, was kind of 4 or 5 years ago. I did it at the beginning, but I had orthotics, and 4 or 5 years ago they were coming to an end. I thought, I really don't want these. I want to be able to just walk on the earth. And I thought, well, if I do the breathing motion of the feet, there's no need for orthotics, because they're continually breathing and supporting the arch and building up their musculature so they stay flexible and strong. So I started doing that, and that just became part of my walking practice. And then when I got this lower hernia, I think through doing yoga in an untrained way, on a full stomach. It's how I got the first hernia in my diaphragm, by the way. So, not good, but there you go, it happened. I was using that because it's coming up through the hips and right through that area, and I'm using that just to keep it all mobile. And just thinking how important it is that, and how fun it is just doing it lying down. It brings a new type of breathing, really, in a very physical way, gets into the brain. In a very physical way, goes through all of the muscles and gets every muscle breathing. And when they start breathing, automatically that they can't stay tense and breathe. What happens is there's a spasmed muscle, and it gets closer and closer to breathing. It just gets more and more tense to the point that it just gives, and it starts breathing. And then that's game over. Once it's breathing, that is not game over dead, game over, that muscle is no longer in spasm. It's now breathing and joining in with the rest of the muscles that are breathing. You know, you can do it out of just love for your muscles, because when they're in spasm they probably feel really lonely, because all the other muscles are breathing away and there they are really tight. And so you can really help them out by teaching them to breathe and join with all of the other muscles, and then that will balance your body as all of the muscles start breathing. Then, because the muscles, the spine doesn't go out of place. Oh, it's just gone out of place there. Oh, it's just gone out of place there. Oh, this has happened. It doesn't just happen, because the muscles on either side are pulling it. The muscles are out of balance, and they're pulling the different vertebrae in different way, and it gets to a certain point, and then, bugger, that's gone now. I am really speaking like an old age pensioner today. The old cronies group for all the old people. But those muscles breathe, and then the spine starts aligning and getting straighter.